What is up guys, I'm Francis the Instructor and I'm back with another video for Get Licensed Driving School, and today we're going to talk about safe positioning. So safe positioning generally isn't too difficult. It's something you should do really early on in your driving career, and most people find it easy, but some people struggle with it a little bit, so these tips are for you. So on a clear road, with no obstructions and obstacles, we generally want to just keep to the middle of our lane on the left-hand side. If you've got multiple lanes, more lanes on your side of the road that go your way, then you want to keep into the left lane. The left lane is always for driving, and all other lanes, whether there be 1, 2 or 3, are for overtaking. That's not just on a motorway, that's on every single road. When you're in a busy town or city, then you might have to deal with bus lanes. Sometimes the bus lanes will be in operation, so you can't use them. Sometimes the bus lanes are not in operation. You need to read the sign to find out when. When the bus lane's not in operation, then it's the left-hand lane and you need to use it. Safe positioning also means making sure you remember that your car is as much of a signal as your indicators are. So if your car is pointing to the left, it's showing the body language of your car turning left. If your car's pointing to the right, again, same thing. It looks like your car's turning right. If you're about to change lanes, then make sure your car looks like it's going to change lanes to the left. If you're turning left, make sure you don't start turning your car to the right before you turn left, because again, that's misleading. While you're giving clues about where you're about to drive with your car's body language, you can also look for the clues in other cars' body language as well. So sometimes you need a reference point to show you how close you are to the curb or close you are to parked cars. So to find out how close you are to the curb, we need to first start off in a park position. Right now I'm in a park position about half a meter away from the curb, and my light sensor is just to the right of the curb. That's the middle of my bonnet. On your bonnet, it might be slightly different. I've also got a set of windscreen wipers. The middle of the windscreen wipers is in that position now. So if there's something on your car that's in the middle of your bonnet, and when you're parked half a meter away from the curb, is cutting into the bonnet just there, then use that for your car. On my car, it's got a nice little knob there, so that's perfect. On your car, there'll be something different that you can use. If there isn't, you can get a little sticker or tear off a post-it note and put a little marker of where the curb should be on your car. Remember, you've got to park about half a meter away from the curb already, so that the curb isn't too close to you while you're driving down it. So now, what if you're driving down a line of parked cars? We're going to do that in a second. You want to be minimum half a meter away. Remember, less space, less speed. If you're closer, you need to go slower. If you're further away, you can increase your speed. Again, it's the same thing. Use the right-hand tire, the outside tire, and that is your new curb. So you can see the tire coming up as you're driving towards it, and make sure that it's not cutting in to your bonnet or the reference point that you've put down any closer than half a meter away. If you're more close than half a meter away, you don't really have enough space to get through that gap. So let's have a drive around today, and we'll have a look at safe positioning on the road and see all of the tips and tricks that you can use to make sure that your car's positioned safely as well. Let's go. Okay, so driving down a nice easy road like this, you can use a nice easy reference point. Have a look in your mirror. When you can see the curb in the mirror, have a look at where your car is in relation to the curb. Don't stay too close to it, you want to be about a meter away. Okay, so now we're on a slightly narrower road, and we've got some obstacles like parked cars. Again, we want to pass the parked cars with about a meter distance away from us if we can. If there's something oncoming and we need to get a little bit closer, you need to lower your speed. Less space, less speed. So right now I'm half a meter away from the curb. I've set my reference point up. I've spotted that I've got something perfectly lined up. It's the light sensor, so that when I'm half a meter away from the curb, I can see where the curb should be. I'm also going to be able to see where tires should be. So I know I should never get a tire to the right of that reference point. So I'm going to drive down the road really slowly and make sure that that works beautifully. So I'm driving down the line of parked cars nice and slowly. Do this really slowly if it's the first time you've done it. And none of those tires are coming to the right of my light sensor. They're all just slightly to the left, which means I'm just a little bit more than half a meter away. So that's perfect. Okay, so safe positioning on this road. I've got the whole road to myself. I can just be right in the middle of my lane. I've got lines in the middle of the road as well. So what I can do here is have a look in my right mirror. I've got a white line there. Have a look in my left mirror. I can see the curb, and I'm going to get the curb and the white line the same distance away from my car. When it's the same distance away, I know that I'm right in the middle of my lane. So now I'm driving down this road, it's a little bit wider, and again I'm making sure that I stay in the middle. I'm looking in my right mirror and my left mirror to check that the lines are the same distance away from my car. What would be the problem with staying too close to the right? Okay, it might make it more difficult for motorbikes to overtake, but it might also indicate that I'm trying to turn right. If you've done the lesson on turning left and turning right, which you should have done by now, then you'll know that the positioning tells as much of a story as your signal. So if I'm positioned really close to the right hand side of the road, it might look like I'm trying to turn right. Same with the left. If I'm positioned too close to the left, not only am I going to pick up rubbish and dirt in my tyres and potentially a nail could go through them, also I'm going to maybe look like I'm parking or turning left. The position of your car tells as much of a story as your indicators do. Now here we go, this is interesting. So we've got a road here that's super narrow and there's parked cars parked either side of the road. Where's my safe position? Right in the middle. Make sure that you're right in the middle of the parked cars. If a car comes towards you, yes, there's no room for two cars on this stretch of road, so you need to refer to the meeting situations video on how to deal with this. But while we're the only car on the road, the safest place to be is right in the middle, in between the parked cars. Don't get closer to one side than the other. And again here, you can use the reference point with the tyres. None of the tyres are coming too close to my light sensor. They're all to the left of the light sensor, so I know I'm more than half a metre away. Same on the left. I can just look left. I'm on the left of the car, so I can see that I'm not too close to these vehicles. It's so easy to just look right ahead at the end of your bonnet, but just open up your field of vision a little bit and look what's around you, and you'll find that you can keep a much safer position and it's much easier to see where you're at. Okay, so this road's a little bit wider. We could get two cars side by side with each other on this road. So again, I'm going to use my reference point. I don't want to come too close to the parked cars on the left, but I can cross the center line of the road when there's nothing coming towards me. Now that car came towards me, I slowed right down and I was looking to the left. If you can see the car on the left, you're not going to hit it, and it helps you to judge how far away distances are. This stuff can be difficult at the beginning because you're not used to the dimensions of the car, you're not used to how big the car is, like where's the extreme edges. But the more you practice this at slow speeds, the more you'll be confident to bring the car speed a little bit higher. So here we go, there's another bank of parked cars on the left, so I'm going to move back across the line, the center line of the road. I'm not all the way in the middle of the road, I don't need to be, but I'm more than half a meter away from the parked cars, so safe positioning. On a really wide road like this one, it might be tempting to keep close to the left side of the road because we always drive on the left, it's tempting to stay on the left. But the correct positioning for this is in the middle of your lane again. So we're going to make sure that we stay in the middle of our lane. Again, check the left mirror, I can see the curb. Check the right mirror, I can see those dotted white lines, and I'm going to make sure that I stay in the middle of my lane. Safe positioning. Now there's a bank of parked cars on the left, so I'm going to reduce our speed because I've got less space, and I'm making sure that I use my reference point so that I don't come too close to the parked cars. You won't need to use reference points. After 5, 6, 7, even 8 lessons sometimes, you won't be using these reference points, but while you still need to and you're not sure about where you are on the road, use the reference points, make sure that you keep your speed slow and you'll feel safer on the road. Okay, so now I'm on a road with multiple lanes. Which lane should I be in? Left lane, you got it. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm in the center of my left lane. Same technique, check the mirror, make sure I'm in the middle. I'm gonna have to just slide around this car, check my mirror to do that. So I can see 4 lanes up ahead, and if I check that sign, I know that I need to be in the second lane. The left lane is left turn only, so I need the second lane because that's the leftmost lane of the ones that go where I want to go. Okay, again, this is why it's really important to plan ahead and know where you're going and know your journey. Up ahead, I've got multiple lanes opening up. There's 3 lanes in fact up ahead, and I need to turn left. But if I was going straight, I'd need to know and recognize early that my safe position to go straight ahead will be in the second lane because the left lane is left turn only. Couple of clues that we can use to work that out. If we look at the traffic lights, there's 2 sets of traffic lights. There's one traffic light dedicated to turning left, which means that the left lane is unlikely to let you go ahead. Also, if you can't see the lines in advance, try and look at what everyone else is doing. If everybody in the left lane is all turning left, then it could mean that the left lane's left turn only. But the safest thing to do is check for signs because they'll tell you what lane goes where, and have a look at the road markings. If you can see the road markings, then they're not covered up by other cars. Okay, so turning onto another multi-lane road, I'm checking the lanes. For arrows, they might tell me that this lane's going somewhere else. On the whole though, we want to keep to the left lane because that's the safest lane, that's the driving lane. All other lanes are for overtaking and turning right. So I can see the arrow is telling me that this lane goes ahead, so I'm going to stick here. Right, because I'm scanning so far ahead, I can see that there's a bus lane. I can tell that because there's a fat white solid line on the right and also a blue sign coming up here. I've scanned the time sign and I can see that that sign says 7 till 10 and 4 till 7. The times advertised on the sign are when the bus lane is in operation. So between 7 and 10 in the morning and between 4 and 7 p.m, that lane is a bus lane, which means that I need to be driving here on the left because the bus lane is not in operation. Okay, so I'm just going to stop here and very quickly refer back to bus lanes. We just mentioned one bus lane, but they all could be different. So you have to read the sign on each bus lane that you enter. From one stretch of bus lane to another stretch of bus lane on the same road could have a different time. So make sure that you recognize and read every single blue sign. You will also notice that people don't use the bus lanes when they're supposed to. This could be for a number of different reasons. Maybe you've been in the bus lane once, read the sign wrong, and now you won't bother to read them anymore or use them at all. Maybe you just haven't bothered to read the sign, or you're just following everyone else and assuming that you've done it wrong. So guys, let's learn how to read a bus lane sign. The times advertised on the sign are when the bus lane is in use and you can't use it. So if the bus lane says at any time, you can't use the bus lane anytime because it's always a bus lane. If the bus lane says 7 till 7, that means between daytime hours, 7 a.m. till 7 p.m, it's a bus lane, you can only use it at night time. The bus lane I just used said 7 till 10 a.m. and 4 till 7 p.m. So it's adding a little bit of confusion because there's two separate times on it. Those two separate times are the times that it's a bus lane. Basically think of it like this: morning rush hour, afternoon rush hour. It's a bus lane, it's helping the buses get through London a little bit quicker. So guys, I hope that video's been helpful. We've covered safe positioning on small roads, slightly bigger roads, where to be around parked cars, and also bigger roads with multi-lanes. Bus lanes are also another one everyone gets wrong at the start, but persevere with it. Keep reading the bus lane signs. If you can't read the bus lane signs in time and you're struggling with that, best thing to do is slow down. It's not a requirement for you to drive around London at 30 miles an hour if that's the speed limit. Slow down on approach to bus lane signs. Give yourself a little bit more time to read them. If you're still struggling with bus lane times and reading the signs quick enough, I know lots of people do, for your driving test, then perhaps the best things to do would just be to familiarise yourself with the area that you're going to be driving in for your driving test. Learn where the bus lanes are and what the sign times are. Cool? Hope that's helped. Comment below if there's anything else I can help you guys with. I always read back through the comments and comment back with you guys. Follow me on Instagram. I'm Francis the Instructor. This is Get Licensed Driving School, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.